Kia ora koutou katoa and welcome to Logan Park in Dunedin for coverage of New Zealand Football's National League South Central Series for 2021. COVID-19's continuing impact on the Auckland and Waikato regions has seen the cancellation of the full National League competitions for 2021, but it's been great to see this interregional South Central Series get underway last weekend. Today's round 2 fixture will see Southern United host the North Island's Central Football. Pretty wet conditions here in Dunedin, but fingers crossed it's actually not going to be too bad for a game of football. Team lists here. So Southern United's starting lineup unchanged from last week. Amelia Simmers was excellent in goals for Southern on her debut. She's up against her former team Central here today. Captain Rose Morton, defenders Hannah Mackay-Wright and Kelsey Kennard, and Renee Bacon and Tony Power. Well, they were all superb last week as well. The work rate was incredible, and Amy Hislop, excellent up front, scored a goal. But probably the real star last week was Emily Morrison, whose work rate was just phenomenal. So Coach Graham Smale able to keep an unchanged starting lineup for today's match. And the visitors, Central Football Federation, so it covers the Manawatu, Taranaki, Hawke's Bay, Tairāwhiti and Whanganui regions, and the youthful side has made the 900 kilometre long journey south, looking to bounce back from their 2-0 defeat to Capital last week. And they also have an unchanged lineup from last week. Their goalkeeper, Brooke Bennett, was excellent last week, pulled off a number of great saves, and Lara Smith and Devon Crawford also excellent in front of her. And they'll be hoping to create some more attacking chances in today's game. Incredibly young team they have, average age of only around 17 years old. Yeah, weather conditions certainly a bit wet. Yeah, if you're watching this from home, then that's probably the place to be. It's not cold, but the rain just fairly sort of light and steady at the moment. Will likely pick up at times during the game. You wouldn't believe that we've had some pretty phenomenally sunny weather in Dunedin for the last week or two. So the also another round 2 fixture today in the Women's South Central Series with Canterbury United Pride coming up against Capital, and Capital will be seeking revenge there after being beaten in last year's National League final. There's also some tasty fixtures in the Men's South Central Series this weekend as well, and you can catch them all live on skysportnext. My name's Morgan Jarvis. I'm really excited to be bringing you the commentary from Logan Park today. And yeah, I'm parked up in a truck down at the corner of the field, and not a bad spot to be honest, because unfortunately there's not a lot of shelter down here at the ground. So we might not see too many spectators make it down here today. The COVID-19 spectator limits might not come under threat, but once again, just brilliant to be able to bring this live stream to you over the Sky Sport Next platform on YouTube. Southern United have certainly had the better of this fixture over the last few years, and I think it's they've won the last 5 clashes, a couple of big scorelines, but the last couple of clashes over the last 2 years, Southern have only won by a single goal. So they'll certainly not want to take Central too lightly here. Southern United were superb in their opening round clash last week against Canterbury United Pride, coming away with a hugely impressive 2-1 victory after going a goal down quite early in the first half. Fought back with a couple of quick goals and looked pretty strong and comfortable throughout the game. And I think it was the work rate and the teamwork right across the full Southern lineup that saw them pick up that victory over a Canterbury United side. The officials for today, so referee Lindsay Robinson, great to see her here. Recently became New Zealand Football's referee development manager after performing that role so well down here in Dunedin over the last couple of years. And she's assisted by Alice Clipsome, Daniel Durkenfield and Will Diamond as the fourth official today. Lindsay will certainly be pretty familiar with the types of weather conditions here today, coming from the northeast of England. A very passionate Newcastle United fan. I'm sure she'll be excited about what could be happening with that club. So the players just huddling under the little bit of shelter that we do have down here at Logan Park before they head out onto the pitch. It's a little bit chilly here, but I think conditions won't be too bad for football today. And we, with the Logan Park artificial turf here, players certainly can't make any excuses for bobbling balls or anything along those lines. So the officials just running over the last bits and pieces with the players before they head out onto the pitch. Drizzle still coming in, and as I mentioned earlier, it's probably be quite constant throughout the match. Hopefully it doesn't impact the broadcast too much. So yeah, two unchanged starting lineups from last week's opening round, as the players now make their way out onto the pitch. Southern United, the home team, in their all blue kit, and visitors Central Football in their green and gold. Last weekend's opening round in both the men's and women's competitions just saw fixtures from sort of neighbouring regions, but this is the first clash where we're seeing true sort of inter-regional fixture, and it's a big journey down for the Central side. An early start this morning, I would imagine, so they'll want to make sure that it's worth it. So Central, with such a young squad here, a number of 15, 16, 17-year-olds in their starting 11. Average age of only 17, but the development aspect of their squad, it's always a big focus. I'm sure they'd love to start picking up some more results in these National League competitions, but the development that we've seen with some of their players has been great, and there's a number of New Zealand age grade representatives in their squad here today. And Southern United just going through their pre-match huddle. They'll be wanting to make sure that they start the game strongly, and they were probably second best in that match last weekend against Canterbury United for the opening 20 minutes or so before they really sort of warmed up, so they won't want to start poorly in today's match. So we're pretty close to getting underway here at Logan Park. Southern United in the all blue will be playing from left to right. Undoubtedly going to be favourites heading into this match based on last week's great win and their recent form over the last few years against Central. But like I said, Central have really pushed Southern United hard over the last couple of fixtures, over the last couple of years. So yeah, Southern United after the toss there, playing from right to left, and it's going to be striker Amy Hislop who will get the game underway. Just awaiting referee Lindsay Robinson make her way back onto the pitch. And all the final checks. Both teams itching to get underway and, well, keep themselves warm as well. Two unchanged lineups from last week, so I think that'll lend itself well to the match today. Both lineups will have a bit of that familiarity after so much uncertainty leading into this competition, and Amy Hislop gets the game underway and lays it back to her captain Rose Morton, who immediately launches it forward. And Holly Kleinsman there in the 11 shirt for Central, and it's a good strong play from Central. They won't want to make life easy for some of the attacking talent in the Southern United squad, like number 13 there, Margarita Diaz, who is absolute dynamite. Emily Morrison, who was just brilliant last week, lays it back to Morton, and she spreads it across to Renee Bacon at fullback. Not afraid to have a shot from a long way out, but it's blocked. It's Bacon who lets the ball roll out for a throw. And we see the ball go out there for a early goal kick, which will be taken by Central's goalkeeper Brooke Bennett, the 19-year-old who was pulled off some amazing saves, including right at the start of the match there last week against Capital, to keep her side in the game. Ended up going down 2-0 to Capital, which pretty respectable result, and Central certainly had a few chances of their own as well. As we'll see another throw in here for Bacon. Chelsea Whittaker lays it back to Morton. She'll be on the ball a lot today. And Hannah Mackay-Wright spreads it across to the right fullback, Tony Power, who was excellent last week. Again, the work rate was amazing. It's up to Chelsea Whittaker in a little bit of space. And now Kelsey Kennard, who, along with Hannah Mackay-Wright, they form a pretty formidable Central defensive partnership. A lot of experience there too. I think there's certainly somewhere that Southern has the edge over Central, and probably a few other teams around the country as well, with a lot of experience, a few players that have had a few years now of National League football, and of course a big number of the Southern United squad been playing together for a number of seasons, with the very successful Dunedin Tech side as Emily Morrison comes forward but eventually loses out there. Central look to launch an attack, but ball comes through to Simmers, who, and offside flag eventually goes up there, so danger averted, but some encouraging signs there for Central. One thing that was really impressive about Simmers and goals for Southern last week, along with pulling off some great saves, but her distribution and looking to play it out short and quickly was key to some of the counter-attacks that Southern was able to launch. Tony Power with the throw in here for Southern. It's flicked on, but Central able to clear it, and Jessie Falloon there in the 9 shirt for Central just losing out, and you're likely to see Southern dominate a lot of possession here today, but that's well cut out. And again, a bit of pinball in the middle of the park there. You'll see the pressing there from Southern United in the middle of the park, and their pressing right across the pitch was a real standout feature of their performance against Canterbury United Pride last week. Morrison hoofs it forward, but well cut out, and a foul there, and it's another feature of the Southern United side is the real physicality and the tenaciousness of the team across the pitch. Central here with a free kick from close to halfway. Send it forward, and Kate Morrie there looking to flick it on, but concedes a free kick with Chelsea Whittaker shielding the ball. Kelsey Kennard, the oldest member of the squad here. I should say most experienced. I think her 9th season now with Southern United, and the vice-captain. As Central do a good job here of cutting the ball out. And Eve Barry will get on the ball here with her opposite number 7, Renee Bacon, in close attendance. And Central doing well here to win the ball back, and, well, nice to see Jessie Falloon there, not afraid to have a shot from just outside the box, but it was blocked before it could trouble the Southern goalkeeper. Well, this is encouraging from Central Football, who, as you can see, are looking to press and box in the Southern United defenders there. Power sends a throw down to Diaz, but Central again do a good job of putting pressure on, and well, Kelsey Kennard had to be alert there and happy just to thump the ball out. So I think that Matthew Calvert, the Central Football coach, will be pretty pleased with the start from his side here. Certainly haven't made life easy for Southern United. And again, Southern there with Tony Power happy just to put the ball out to safety. Amy Atkins in the 10 shirt there trying to get the ball from the throw, but now Diaz just couldn't quite control the ball there. Central again cut it out, and Eve Barry there drifting into the middle of the park. And Central, well, again, happy to, a bit of confidence there to have a ping from a long way out. And they've won themselves a corner, I think. Oh, sorry, a throw in close to the corner there. Good pressure again from Central, putting pressure on Southern United, and Southern can't get out of their own end easily. Bacon with a wee bit of space and looking for some teammates. And takes on her opposite number there, Barry. And unfortunately, the ball just went out of play. And a very even start to the match here. See Falloon working hard to try and get herself some space to win the throw there. Whittaker loses out. Barry flicks it back on, and good tackle from Kennard to deny Falloon, but Southern just lacking a little bit of composure here, and they were so composed last week, but I think that's a credit to Central's attitude here at the start of this match. As the throw comes in from Rebecca Treffett, who's only 15. One of the many youngsters in the Central side. Meanwhile, yeah, Southern not pressing with the same intensity there, and Bacon now with it again, lays it back to Simmers, who looks for Power, and again Power's a little bit isolated but does well to find Diaz down the line. Great hustle again from Central, and Stella Warner there in the 3 shirt in her debut National League season. Only 6 players from last year's Central squad returning for this year's competition, so plenty of new faces, but what a great opportunity for them. And some nifty play there from Mackay Wright as she tries to work her way out from the Southern defence, but again Southern just can't get out of their own half, and Central pressing through, and the ball comes through here, and will they get a shot on goal? Well, oh, and it's been poked in. May have been an own goal in the end by Hannah Mackay Wright, but you can't say that Central Football don't deserve to take the lead so early in the match. Try and bring a replay to you here. But what a great start to this match by Central Football, and paying off all that hard work early on here with an early goal. See if we can get a replay to you, but it almost looked like the final touch came from Southern United defender Hannah Mackay-Wright, which Simmers had no chance of getting to, and might not have been the prettiest goal, but Central certainly won't care. And again, it was Jessie Falloon there just working so hard in attack for Central and putting that pressure on the Southern defence that helped lead to that goal. So that's got to be a wake-up call for Southern United, who are just at the moment lacking the intensity of last week's performance, and immediately Central win a free kick in a great position here. And they got a little bit of tall timber up there too, which they'll look to find, and it takes a good clearing header from Rose Morden, but Central again first to the ball. Simmers lays it out to Mackay-Wright. Diaz looking for Hislop, who's barely touched the ball, and here she goes on a mazy run. There's some Central shirts around her and can't find one of her teammates there, so it doesn't amount to too much. Whereas some of the chances that Southern United created on the counter-attack with multiple teammates launching forward in cohesion last week was what helped lead them to their victory. Bennett pumps it forward. And nicely cut out there from Central again. They're just really up for this match. And Mackay-Wright under pressure there from Holly Kleinsman. As part of a recent under-17 New Zealand training camp, like some of her teammates here. And again, Central not making it easy for Diaz. Amy Atkins there, and Kirsty Howard lays it back to Kennard, and Bacon's in a little bit of space down the left. We saw her bomb forward so many times against Canterbury right throughout the match last week, and she does well to find a teammate, but again Central turn it over, and Barry had to be challenged there by Rose Morden, who does such a good job of mopping up in that defensive midfield role for Southern. Again, cut out, and Central every time they seem to have players in just that little bit of space. Power now gets onto the ball, and she looks up, looks for the feet of Hislop. Such a good touch. She lays it back to Morrison. And Diaz now on the ball, but well cut out again by Central. Morton has to lay it back, and Southern will look to build again. Southern now starting to string some passes together, but has been a bit of a slow start to the match here, and Central Football with a 1-0 lead that you can't say is undeserved. So the rain just picks up a little bit here, but at least not too much wind at the moment. There's been a few hardy spectators that have made it in along the bank with their obligatory umbrellas. We hope that you're nice and comfortable and dry tuning in from home, as Central will have another throw in here. Southern, Amy Hislop can't get to that one. May have been Lara Smith there, the central defender who was brilliant against Capital last week. At one stage of the game she made a crucial last ditch block to deny a good chance for Capital. She seems to have a good partnership with Crawford in defence there as well. And ball falls here for Southern, and again it took some good defending there just to deny a chance, and Morrison tracking back there lets the ball go out. Power with the throw and finds the head of the diminutive Diaz, and Bacon now finding a bit more space, and she also has Chelsea Whitaker and even more space up alongside her, but instead she goes inside looking for Hislop, but it was just a bit awkward for Hislop to get that one under control, and she's got a phenomenal first touch, Amy Hislop too, normally, so again just showing that things just aren't quite going the way that Southern would have liked early on in this match. Sorry. Bennett sends it down and manages to find a green shirt, but now Morton looks up and Hislop having a shot from distance, but very comfortable for Bennett to mop up there. Going to take a bit more than that to beat her in goals. Just some of the saves she made against Capital last week, right within the first minute of the game, and she'd made a couple of brilliant efforts diving at the feet of strikers, putting her body on the line. And that's the kind of dedication that we're already seeing from Central today, and certainly making life difficult for Southern, who just haven't quite gelled to get this game started. Morton finds Whitaker in quite a bit of space down near the left touchline there, and it's taken good defending there from Trefford, and it's going to be another goal kick. Bennett, 19-year-old from Gisborne, studying sports science at Massey University. And it was Chelsea Whitaker there who on the goal kick, but again, Central are the team that have gotten it back. And Mackay right there having to try and cut that out, but again, Central first to the ball, and a number of players around Emily Morrison there. They're shutting down players in the exact fashion that Southern did so well against Canterbury last week. Tony Power, really quick player, and tried to use that to her advantage there, but once again Central managed to cut it out. Atkins just couldn't quite get on the ball there, but Holly Kleinsman on the ball there in the 11 shirt. Hislop hungry to try and get a bit more involved in the game here, and likewise Margarita Diaz would be hoping to get more involved on the ball too. Absolute danger player when she gets into a bit of space. But space is something that Southern United haven't been afforded so far in this match. Hislop on the ball, but well denied there. Southern, what can they create from an attacking throw in here? Hislop flicks it on, but Central next to the ball and can't get close to the 6-yard box there, so Bennett will be relieved to have another goal kick here. Once again looking to go long. Again a bit of pinball in the middle of the park there. And Central again, just players surrounding the Southern midfielders, and strong challenge. And Barry, looking to get on the ball there, and Kennard actually missed the ball, but Bacon was there to mop up. Falloon trying to put a bit of pressure there on Mackay Wright. I made a fool of myself early in the game when I said that Southern United would be likely to dominate possession, because Central have had plenty of the ball, and much of this opening 20 minutes has been taking place down in Southern United's own half. Whittaker coming into the middle of the park, just looking to get more involved, and now looks up, tries to find Hislop, and then Diaz along with her, who lays it back for Hislop to try and get on to. Defender did well, but it bounces across to the 6-yard box, but Central quickly clear it. I think Southern slowly warming up into this game. And may have been Stella Warner there, just putting plenty of pressure on Diaz. But it does mean a free kick for Southern United. What can they create from this? Renee Bacon in the 7 shirt there comes across from left fullback to take it, and probably as good a free kick taker as anyone in the league. So, and again, some great targets for her to aim for. Striker Hislop, and actually the defenders Mackay Wright and Kennard have both stayed back for this one. They're usually a couple of great targets to aim for too. So probably look to see this, well, I was about to say launched up towards Hislop, but it's low, finds its way across to Whittaker. Takes on Trefford, who's just sticking to her so well, and again has some help from her teammates too, but Southern do win a corner. Now we see the centre back pairing of Mackay Wright and Kennard come forward, and I've certainly seen them bag in plenty of headers, both for Southern but also for Dunedin Technical, as the rain really picks up and is driving in now, and that's going to make it difficult for the goalkeepers. So Bacon sends it in, and then flicked on by Mackay Wright, but can't put Bennett under pressure. So Bennett hasn't really been forced into any big saves yet. But Southern finally starting to ramp up the pressure a little bit on Central Football. They need to, they're a goal down. And there's Atkins again, coming back, looking for the ball, and Diaz flicks that forward. But well cleared again by Central. Bacon with the throw-in finds Kirsty Hab, who's pressing forward, but nicely won by Barry. Comes back for Bacon. Now she sends in a powerful drive, but easily cleared again by Central. Power keeps it in. And Morton on the ball again, hounded by two Central players, and she can only lay it back to Kennard, who just about lost possession there. It's obviously going to get a bit greasy out on the pitch. Bacon, the left foot cross, and Central managed to prevent a corner. Instead it'll be another throw-in for Bacon. No, it's must have been off her, so for Central. Throw comes in, and Morrison can only knock it out for another throw. Nice work there by Atkins. Looks good on the ball. It's her first season back with the team after being out of football for 18 months with an ACL injury that she got when she was representing New Zealand national schools team. So great to see her back in action. She's been very busy so far for Central. Tony Power will get the ball in a bit of space, but looks up, and again, not really any easy options there. Southern did such a good job last week of always having options available for passes in the middle of the park, and just haven't quite strung it together in the same way here against Central, and that's because Central haven't allowed them to. And again, a bit of a tussle in the middle of the park, and Southern at least come out on top of this one. And Kennard sends it up to her tech teammate and great friend Chelsea Whitaker, but now Barry sends it forward and looks to find Falloon, who does well, and just didn't have any teammates though in the penalty area, but she gets another chance, but again can't find any teammates. Just saw her look up and just didn't have the options that she wanted there, so Central want to make sure that they do still look to put on pressure with those types of counter-attacks. But it's an attacking throw here for Central. Again, Atkins moving about, but it'll be Falloon who gets the ball now, lays it back to Barry. Atkins is denied by Morton, such a busy player, and comes back here, and Bacon will keep that one in and looks up and sees Hislop making a run along with Whitaker towards the left flank, but instead Bacon just drives forward, and really quite a poor ball in the end when she did have a few options available. And another throw for Central. They managed to keep it in and then win another throw. Atkins again, just so busy up on attack. Power in that right fullback role, looks up and looks to find Diaz, and just again doesn't have the space that she wants to be getting into. Kleinsman has the ball cut out by Southern captain Morton, but pretty hopeful ball there over the top for his lot. But last week against Canterbury, it just felt that those types of balls were coming off and creating chances, and they created plenty of chances against Canterbury last week, but just haven't had that same fluidity today. Power's been heavily involved again, as she was last week. Power's in her second season with Southern, and plays for the university club, so very familiar with playing on the turf here, which is down near the Otago University. And here she is again, but straight to a Central player, and Barry now looks up, finds Atkins, and Atkins sees Kleinsman in a bit of space down that left flank, and she does well to keep it in. And disappointing touch there by Kate Morey, who's one of the more senior players in the Central squad at the age of 20. As the rain picks up further, Central again able to try and create a chance, and Barry chips it forward, and Mackay Wright has to shield the ball from Atkins and does well in the end, but Atkins wasn't making it easy. Super impressive start here from Central Football, and we look at the replay here, and Mackay Wright allowed the ball to go out there, and she's on the ball again now. Free kick here for Southern. Southern's coach, Graham Smale, has been assistant coach for Southern over a few of the last seasons in the National League, where Southern have picked up some really impressive results, and this is his first season in the head coach role, and he was just so delighted with the great result they picked up last week. But he'll be a wee bit disappointed with how his team have started here. But now Hislop gets on the ball just outside the box and so strong on the ball, lays it back to Morrison. Central do a pretty good job of closing her down. Now Whittaker again, green shirts all around her, and once again Southern have to go back before they can go forward. And Bacon making every effort to try and get on to the end of that long ball from Morton, but it's seen out by Treffert, and another goal kick for Bennett. So Graham Smale, the Southern United coach there, who was head coach of the Dunedin technical side that had such an incredible run over the last few years, and is continuing to do so even after he has stepped down. But the pinnacle for him, of course, was winning the Kate Shepherd Cup in 2018. As Hislop now on the ball, one-on-one on the edge of the box. Well defended though, and look at that. Hislop does well though. Turns and sends the ball into the box, but cleared for a corner. Hislop certainly starting to get more involved, and I'm sure that Graham Smale will like to see that. Beat Bacon to send the corner in. The breeze has just dropped down a wee bit, but the rain continues to come down. And she gets it up nice and high, looking for Morrison, but Central just about clear it. Bounces around in a spectacular effort in terms of a bicycle kick, and then Mackay right, and that's gone in, couldn't quite be cleared off the line, and Southern United get an equaliser as we catch a replay here, and it was tenacious play, a good effort by Hannah Mackay Wright, and you have to feel sorry there for the Central defender who could only put it into her own net. So Southern United equalise 1-1 here at Logan Park in round 2 of the New Zealand Football South Central Series League. And it's been a really good game, really, and Central have certainly been up for it, and Southern United have really had to graft their way back into the game, but have now equalised. And Kennard sees that go out for a throw that Bacon will take near her own corner post. Sends it up to Chelsea Whittaker, but Berry does well, and combined with Rankin, the Central captain, but Hislop getting more involved, and Whittaker would like to too, out on this left-hand side, and she looks up, and Diaz had made a big run into the centre but couldn't get onto the end of it. And Central now pushing forward again. Have to say the game's been a bit more open than I'd thought. It's been really encouraging. Both teams really pressing on. Whittaker now finds Hislop. Back to Whittaker. Sends it across to Power and acres of space, but not many easy options when she looks up. So she cuts back inside. And somehow it comes all the way through to Whittaker, and here we see Morrison, on the ball, has to turn and looks up. Finds Whittaker, but Central do enough to come away through Berry. She's been heavily involved too, and Falloon there just about got on to the end of their own touch. You can hear the Central coach, Matthew Calvert, screaming out on the sideline. He's clearly got his team well and truly up for this fixture. Cowart's a football development officer in the Whanganui region, has been since 2018, originally from the UK. He's got to be delighted with how his team have started here, despite conceding an equaliser. Bacon, with a bit of time, looks up, and Hislop's always a good target, but Central managed to win the ball back again. Barry with a lovely touch to find Atkins with a nice turn, and she now gets a shot in, and from a long way out, and while it was comfortable enough for Simmers in these kind of slippery conditions, don't ever want to take it for granted. Simmers hasn't had a lot of touches so far in the game. And now Barry has a crack from long range, but sends it well over goal. But again, just another little wake-up call for Southern United. Eve Barry in the 7 shirt there, only 18, and called up to the New Zealand futsal camp earlier this year. As Kennard looks up to see what her options are and finds Bacon pinned to the sideline, and well, Whittaker couldn't get that under control, but it might just about work out okay with Hislop. The high work rate getting onto the ball and winning a throw. Only around 10 minutes to go in this first half of this round 2 South Central Series clash at Logan Park in Dunedin. Whittaker gets it in to Morrison, but she's tightly marked. Comes back to Morton, and she's hounded again. And Atkins busy and comes sliding in there on Kennard. Bacon drives in and couldn't find it, the feet of a teammate there. Once again, we're going to see the ball come out towards Tony Power, but won't even make it that far. Central cut it out. Southern happy again to lay it back. Hislop again with her back to goal, but she's always dangerous there. And Morrison on the turn, looks up, hadn't quite fallen to her for a shot, but and a free kick there for Central. Southern have certainly got more dangerous as the half's gone on, because it was a slow start from the home side. Here's Bennett. Sends it forward and nicely cut out by Whittaker. And there, Stella Warner does really well, but now makes its way back again for Central, and another sliding challenge there with Power sliding in and maybe taking out her teammate, but been a good physicality to this match so far. Been good to see. Kleinsman lays it back and sent into the box, and Atkins just about got on the end of it again. Southern don't do a good job of clearing it, and they finally get it away to prevent a corner, but Central just been really good with the pressing throughout this first half. Power with the throw, and Hislop with a clever wee layoff to Diaz. Makes its way out to Morrison, who tries to find Hislop, making a run for that right channel. She gets back on the ball and looks up. Sends it across, and Whittaker just couldn't quite bring that under control. Bennett sends it long again, which has been the preferred option most of the time. But her Central teammates have managed to get on the end of most of those long balls, so why wouldn't you? Power to the feet of Hislop. But again, a couple of players around her, and Central win the throw. Power lays it across to Whitaker, who again is coming to the middle of the park, and no free kick there as Barry won the ball back. Now Atkins looks up, finds Kleinsman, I think it is, in space down the left-hand side, and can't quite keep it in, although the linesman's flag hasn't gone up, so play on. And Southern try and set themselves in defence and manage to win the ball back. Can they launch a counter? Well, Hislop was incredibly isolated up there in attack as her teammates had all got back to defend. She couldn't get the ball under control anyway. Morrison now, who was so effective in last week's match and just hasn't had quite the same involvement today. Kennard cuts it out. Barry putting her under pressure again. We'll see Whitaker lay it off to Bacon. She goes back to Whitaker again. So we have about 5 minutes left in this opening half. Such organised defending again from Central. And Southern again just can't string it together. They're coming up against such an organised side here. Again, quite similar to what we saw last week with Southern against Canterbury, where Southern constantly frustrated the Champion Pride team with organised defending across the whole pitch. Hislop does a great job now of winning the ball, and she'll keep it in down near that corner and look up and try and send it in with her left foot, but will just win a throw instead. Southern, can they look to go ahead before the half-time break? Power with a throw. Finds the feet of Hislop and then pumped in, but Bennett will try and claim that one, and so strong. Does well to win that one with Diaz challenging her. I think Bennett was always going to win that battle. She again sends it long. And Falloon lays it back to Kleinsman. Important wee period of the game here as we get close to the half-time break. Score's currently locked 1-1. And a free kick for Southern right on halfway. I think it's as good a time as any to give a shout out to a couple of people who have made my life a bit easier. Beth Lyon and Kate Bennett from Southern United and Central respectively. What a great job they've done of providing some great player information for the squads today. It's good to see. As Mackay Wright sends it forward, and Barry fortunately looks up and sees she's not under any pressure, so has time to look up. Finds Atkins with another nice turn. It's such a good first touch. She's loving playing on the turf. It comes forward, and Falloon's been so busy up front, and she's going to try and run this one down and forces Simmers to come running out of her box to send it out for a throw. Here, Jessie Falloon, who's recently signed a scholarship with a university in the USA. And what can Central create from this throw-in? Again, they've been so good with player movement to create options like that, and fortunately they can't create an attack there, and it'll be a throw-in for Bacon. Just not quite seeing the same movement from the Southern United players, so not the same options, and that sort of sums up this first half, where Central have come out tops on the effort and work rate front, I think. And Kleinsman lays it back to Warner. Looks up, Falloon can't get on the end of that though, but still makes it difficult for Mackay Wright, who does well in the end and finds Hislop. Lumps it forward for Diaz to run onto, but well defended. Lara Smith and Devon Crawford have done another good job defensively, and Hislop with a long range effort, but goes wide of goal there. So we get inside the last minute of normal time in this first half. Bennett sends it forward and Maury trying to get onto the ball there. And Crawford had to work back to make sure that Bennett could clear safely. And see fourth official there with just 1 minute of additional time. Fourth official Will Diamond from down in Invercargill. As Bennett will have one last chance here to try and create a final attack for Central Football. Sends it down and Hislop wins the header. Looks at Morrison, her teammate there, who tried to get on the end of the ball, but great defending from Central Football. That sums up this first half. What can Bacon create here? Sends it forward, but a good clearing header. Diaz just about managed to test out Bennett there in goals. That might be about it for the first half here. Morton comfortable just to send it back to Power, and there is Lindsay Robertson blowing the half-time whistle. Half-time here at Logan Park in this South Central Series clash between Southern United, the home team in blue, against Central Football. 1-1. Central Football took the lead deservedly before Southern United equalised, but 1-1 at the break here. Make sure you stick around, make yourself a cuppa, and don't go away, because we'll be back soon with second half action here from Logan Park.
world is bright again. The sky is light again and all. The world is bright again. Home is where our love
brighter days are on their way. Forever's how long they'll stay. Brighter days are on their way. Chasing sunsets in the sky. Won't let these moments pass us by. Take my hand, don't be afraid. The brighter days are on their way. Brighter days are on their way. Forever's how long they'll stay. Brighter days are on their way. I'ma hit the gas, once I tap it, I'm gone. Faster than the flash, when I get in this zone. Higher than a plane, stay up by my lane. Oh, I do it different and they really can't.
Welcome back to Logan Park in Dunedin for this New Zealand Football National League South Central Series Round 2 clash between Southern United and Central Football. Really good first half with saw the scores tied 1-1 at the break here. Central taking the lead pretty early on in the match. They started the game so well and opened the scoring with around the 10-minute mark through Jesse Falloon. Southern battled their way back into the match and equalised after about half an hour through what was credited, I think, as an own goal to Central defender Devon Crawford, which is a bit unfortunate because I think she was credited with an own goal last week as well. And she's been so good defensively along with Lara Smith and teammates for Central. They've made life really difficult for Southern United. And anything could happen in the second half, which is about to get underway. Home side Southern United in the all-blue strip playing from left to right, and Central Football get the second half underway in their green and yellow. The rain has just been constant throughout this match, and it's only a fairly light drizzle, to be honest, and not too much wind. So I don't really think it's impacted the match too much, as Southern looked to get on the front foot early in the second half. Tony Power was heavily involved in the first half there, the Southern fullback, but often a wee bit isolated and just haven't been able to string the passes together like they did last week so well in their impressive win over Canterbury United Pride. Meanwhile, Central have just worked together so well across the park and always been putting Southern under constant pressure. Apologies if the weather isn't interfering with the stream at all. It has made it a bit challenging here, and I do feel a bit for the cameramen who are pretty exposed to the elements up on their makeshift tower. It could even mean the camera's moving around a wee bit. And meanwhile, I'm parked up in the back of a truck down one end of the field, but wouldn't want to be anywhere else, except maybe on the couch at home with a coffee. Quick shout out to former Football South CEO Chris Wright, who just messaged me from the comfort of his home watching the stream. Brilliant. It's so good to be able to bring these games to people right across the country and across the world. As Southern look to find Amy Hislop, but well cut out there by Crawford. So, in case you weren't sure, the normal National League season couldn't go ahead, unfortunately, due to the impact that COVID-19 has had as Hislop goes down under pressure, but no calls for a penalty, and Chelsea Whittaker was offside, so the flag goes up. So, yeah, everyone has a lot of sympathy for the players and teams from the Auckland and Waikato regions. Hope that some of you have tuned into this stream. Obviously, everyone's gutted that those teams haven't been able to compete, and we haven't been able to have a full National League as we would have hoped. However, it's been brilliant that we've been able to get the other available teams from the South and Central regions involved in this competition. Hopefully it's a one-off competition for both the men and the women, and fingers crossed we can get everyone back involved properly next year. Here's Central in the number 10 shirt there, Amy Atkins. She was brilliant in that first half and just so busy as Diaz flicks it on and finds Hislop, and Southern now try and get a few options forward as well, and Diaz, wow, Some good pressure there, but very strong defending again from Crawford, I think it was, putting her body on the line. That goes out for an attacking throw for Southern United. A wee bit more movement here, but Hislop can't get on the end of it. Well cut out by Lara Smith, 15-year-old defender for Central. So many youngsters in this team as Kirsty here came charging through, but Crawford did well to cut it out. She's in her debut National League season and has been impressive. Another throw-in for Tony Power. He lays it off for Diaz on her left foot, gets a shot in, and Bennett had to make a diving save. That's probably one of the first real key saves we've seen from either keeper, but Bennett was very alert to that one and did well to push the ball away and keep the scores tied at 1-1. But that was more encouraging for Southern United, and great to see Diaz getting more involved in attack. Atkins again turns on the ball, but it comes out for Whittaker for Southern. Looks up, but Hislop wasn't quite alert to that and can't quite keep the ball in. As we'll have a replay here with Diaz with the chance and got plenty of power on the shot. Could have even been a wee deflection in there, which would have made things even harder for Bennett. But Bennett did so well to get down to the ball. As I mentioned earlier, Bennett was superb last week. Despite her team going down 2-0 to Capital. She made a number of key saves, both big diving saves, but also some really strong and brave keeping, diving at the feet of attackers. Well, Central have been so impressive in this match so far, but what the coach Matthew Calvert probably want to see is just trying to create a few more chances on goal and test out Amy Simmers in goal for Southern. Central with a throw, and we'll get another chance there. The Central coach there, Matthew Calvert, been pretty vocal at times in that first half, but he must have been so pleased with the effort from his team, who just right from kick-off just came out firing, and I think almost surprised Southern with their intensity. And once again, you see the Central side just defending well as a unit across the whole pitch, and that's easily cut out by Stella Warner, number 3 and fullback for Central football. And that just shows the defending from Central. It's not just tenacious, it's smart as well, as they pushed a high defensive line there, and Hislop was offside. Crawford sends it forward, looking for Falloon, but Power clears it with the head. Laid back for Warner. Now Kleinsman but can't get the ball under control, and Hislop back to goal, and Crawford up with her, but sends it across, looking for Whittaker to get onto it. The turn and curved cross was from Hislop there was very similar to the assist she provided for Emily Morrison last week against Canterbury United Pride, when Southern picked up an impressive 2-1 win. So Simmers hasn't had too many touches really in the match, and she lays short ball across, and now Mackay Wright looks up again, tries to find his lot, but can't quite do so. And Bennett comfortable with the ball under control and under a little bit of pressure now from Whittaker, but Bennett does well to send it long. And I didn't pick up at half time, but it looks like Chantel Smith is out on the pitch for Southern United in the 17 shirt. Morton pushing forward, and again Hislop with the back to goal, lays it off to Morton. Out to the left flank, Bacon swings it across, but it's easy for Bennett. Power on the ball. So, yeah, Chantel Smith coming on at half time for Southern United. May have replaced Emily Morrison by the looks of it, and, well, Grant Smale didn't want to change his starting 11 that did so well last week against Canterbury United, but and Morrison was the standout player of all, I think, last week, but Chantel Smith, what a player to bring on off the bench. Here she is on the ball and looks up and finds her Dunedin Tech teammate Chelsea Whittaker, but some good defending, but Whittaker does well, so good on the ball, and looks like nothing awarded there, so just a goal kick, but more encouraging signs for Southern. Some frustration from the sideline, thinking there could have been a free kick there, but just shows the strong defending that we've seen from Central Football throughout the match. Chantel Smith, one of the more experienced members of the squad, and of course the Maya Jackman Trophy winner in the 2018 Kate Shepherd Cup final for Dunedin Tech, and here she is again putting Crawford under pressure and just sees it out for a corner. So Southern United and Graham Smale clearly wanting that sort of impetus and drive from Chantel Smith. So Renee Bacon will swing in an in-swinging corner. Gets it up there. It's Smith and close to getting on the end of it, and Diaz. And now Falloon, who was credited as a goal scorer for Central Football for their opening goal early in that first half. Strong challenge there from Stella Warner. Now Renee Bacon on her favoured right foot drives it in. Well, that was obviously an effort on goal. Didn't manage to test out Bennett, but Bacon's got a thunderbolt of a shot on her and scored plenty of goals from more attacking positions in the National League. Absolute standout player for Southern United and Rosamai Carey over the last few years. She was the 2021 Football South Female Sportsperson of the Year with 17 goals in the Winter Premier League, second only to her Southern United teammate here, Amy Hislop. Hislop finishing up with 23 goals from 13 matches. Outstanding. Diaz on the ball here, but again some wonderful pressure from Kleinsman, and Diaz tried to roll her marker, couldn't quite do so. Diaz, one of 9 Dunedin technical players in the Southern United squad. Here's another one, Rose Morden, the Southern captain, and Hannah Mackay-Wright sends it forward for Diaz, but Warner does well to get ahead to that. Now Kleinsman lays it across to Atkins. She's been so busy today. They've just played such smart football here today, Central Football. Every player seems to know their role in the team. Chantel Smith, so strong in the middle of the park and looks up, always seems to have so much time. And tried to lay it off for Diaz, but couldn't quite do so. But encouraging signs for Southern with Smith getting involved. Crawford looks up, looks to find Eve Barry. And Bacon tried to intercept that, but Barry did well. It's been a good battle there between the two number 7s today. Barry with a nice turn. And here's an overlapping run there from her fullback, Rebecca Treffert, but Southern happy to see it go for a throw, and I think we're about to get another substitution here. And it's Southern striker Amy Hislop coming off inside the first hour. Coming on, number 12, Ruby Anderson. Well, not a bad player to be bringing on. Still only 18 years old, but in her 4th season with Southern United, and another Dunedin Tech star. Excellent goal scorer, originally from up in Timaru. There's another substitution here too. So Southern making some changes, wanting to try and keep their momentum going here, because they came into this game as favourites, but the score's still locked up 1-1 with a very brave Central football side. So interesting to see Amy Hislop come off. She may have picked up a bit of a knock late in that win last week against Canterbury United, so I'm not sure if that's a factor in it, but again, Ruby Anderson, not a bad player to be bringing on. And Morton swings it across to Diaz, who's in a bit of space and is onside, has a shot and beats Bennett and puts Southern United in front 2-1. Well, Diaz finally got in some space and very composed finish there too, and look at her teammates congratulate her, because that's huge. You see Diaz here on the replay getting a bit of space, but had to get the ball under control and then slide it past Bennett. And Southern, after going a goal down early in the first half and battling back into it in the first half, go in front on about the hour mark, up 2-1 over Central Football. Well, that was just a nice touch of class there from Margarita Diaz, and I think it was Morton who had sent her through. Diaz finally got in some space. Central have barely afforded Southern United any space across the park today, so you have to feel a bit sorry for them. But here they go, trying to get themselves back on level pegging through Kleinsman and then Atkins, but strong defending from Hannah Mackay-Wright. Southern certainly seemed like they might have got a bit fired up at the half-time break. They needed to. And here's Diaz again. She'll just about keep it in, but nice defending from Warner, who has stuck to Diaz like glue throughout the game, except for that one chance that Diaz took so well. Warner, another player in her debut National League season. Remember, only 6 members of the Central Football squad have returned from last season. A lot of new faces, but they've done themselves proud so far today. But here's Southern again. Anderson lays it back to Morton. Southern finally showing a wee bit more movement across the park and just a little bit of confidence. But Diaz can't quite keep that ball from power in. The rain's just eased off a bit here down at Logan Park as well, which is nice. Pretty good conditions for football, and Anderson battles away and just about wins it back. Chantel Smith, again, she's been a big part of this improvement from Southern United so far in the second half, but Central do well to clear, but Diaz back on the ball. Warner looks up and does well to find Falloon, the Central goal scorer, but Southern do a good job of mopping that up, and the game's really opening up now, which is good to see. Anderson trying to get on the end of it, but Nice defending from Lara Smith, the centre back for Central Football, 15 years old, from Wellington United AFC in her debut National League season. Another part of a recent under-17 New Zealand training camp. She was, excellent last week against Capital. Has been really strong again today. Just one of a number of very impressive youngsters from the Central Football side. Bennett with the goal kick here again will look to launch it forward, look for her willing targets, and once again it's one of her teammates who easily gets to the ball first, and Kate Morrie. Ruby Anderson trying to get on the ball, and there's a bit of a clash, and it'll be a free kick in a great position here for Southern. I think it was more of a clumsy challenge there rather than anything malicious, but it's a free kick for Southern United all the same, and Ruby Anderson, good work rate there to win that free kick, and Southern will see this as a good chance to put some more clear air between them and Central here if they can pick up a third goal. Renee Bacon surveys her options, and again we don't see some of the big targets from the back get up there, but it might even be Chelsea Whitaker who's going to take this free kick. The likes of Smith and Power and Ruby Anderson up there in the central box, and Whitaker lays it back for Bacon, who launches it in, and Smith, wow, found herself in some space at the far post, and probably more space than she even realised, and she got it on goal, but it was comfortable enough for Brooke Bennett to get down to. You saw it came in from Bacon with some power, and it was, when you look at the replay, Smith has actually done pretty well to get a first time effort under such good control, but just couldn't beat Bennett, so Bennett keeping her team in the game here. Smith does well to cut that one out, and then Diaz on the ball. Some really encouraging signs for Southern now. And Smith, well, the physicality that she brings to the game, I think, would have been a key component of why she was brought on at half-time. Because Central have certainly been really strong throughout the game so far, and Power finds Diaz, can't quite run onto the ball, but lays it off for Power. Eve Berry now for Central, and clever run there by Falloon, and she confidently tries to take it past Hannah Mackay-Wright one-on-one, but pretty experienced defender there in Mackay-Wright. Her third season with Southern. Another one who has starred for Dunedin Tech over the last couple of years. And Hannah played more minutes in the local Football South Women's Premier League than any other Southern United player, playing in all 18 Dunedin Tech matches. She picked up 4 goals, and her side only conceded 10 goals in the whole season with 9 clean sheets. A pretty formidable defensive partnership with the likes of, or teammate here, Kelsey Kennard. Warner confidently lays it back there for Lara Smith. Power cutting it out, and Morton strong in the middle of the park again. She's been good today. Bacon can't quite find Chantel Smith. Game is starting to get a wee bit more stretched, and Whitaker on the ball. Clever turn. Such a good dribbler of the ball, and still going under pressure there. And well done, central fullback Rebecca Trefford, who just did enough there. She's up against a pretty classy player in Whitaker. So we see another substitution coming here, and this couple of subs here for Central. And well, number 10, Amy Atkins, coming off. She's just been brilliant today, and also defender Devon Crawford too coming off. And see the 17 shirt coming on, Sarah Morton, who's certainly a familiar face to football fans across the country, having represented New Zealand. And Ruby Anderson on the ball now. Bacon again, powers it in, and it, don't know whether it was a shot or a cross. It she had a couple of teammates that just about got on the end of it. But now the other substitute there for Central in the 15 shirt, Vanya Hodgkinson, trying to get on the ball. Back for Warner. Happy to lump it forward, looking for Falloon, a willing striker, and Falloon's taken a knock. She's been so brave and so busy throughout the match, so hopefully nothing too serious. Might have just caught an elbow or something there as she went up for the header. Again, the rain, still just a bit of light drizzle. Has rained pretty constantly throughout the match. Looks like players might be getting a quick drink in here while Falloon's attended to. But I certainly love being able to bring football to you here from the turf at Logan Park. Such a great facility we have here in Dunedin. We've been crying out for a decent surface for a long time, and it's brilliant. Officially opened in 2019, I've got to say, but great surface here. Referee Lindsay Robinson just surveying things while the players just get a drink in, and great to have Lindsay Robinson back here in town. So yeah, recently became New Zealand Football's referee development manager after being in that role down here in the Football South region. Lindsay, who famously officiated the 2018 FA Women's Cup final between Arsenal and Chelsea at Wembley in front of 45,000 fans. Logan Park's a long way from Wembley, but we're very lucky to have Lindsay here in football in New Zealand. It's been quite a lengthy stoppage here, so you can expect a few minutes to get added on after the 90-minute mark. And hopefully we're close to getting back underway. Currently 2-1 between home team Southern United in the blue and Central Football in the green. See the Central coaching staff there, and the Southern United players just in a huddle. You can see they've finally got some smiles on their faces, battling back to be 2-1 in front, and you can see the Southern player there just being attended to, maybe Chantel Smith perhaps, who's down there on the sideline. But yeah, Southern United there. Going ahead in the second half here through Margarita Diaz after the scores were locked at 1-1 at half time. It was Central who took an early lead after about 10 minutes through striker Jessie Falloon, and it was a well-deserved early lead for Central Football, who are really up for it in that first half, and Southern had to battle back into the game and equalised after about half an hour through what was went down as an own goal, unfortunately for Central defender Devon Crawford, who I think also was on the score sheet for the wrong team last week as well, and is it's not really fair for someone who's been so impressive in both matches. But it was some good play from Southern defender Hannah Mackay-Wright to get an effort in towards goal that Crawford unfortunately could only direct past her goalkeeper Brooke Bennett. We're finally about to get back underway with the drop ball, and there we go, and Morton tried to lump it forward and might have been a bit of a shank. So Eve Barry now on the front foot for Central, but Power again just can't quite combine with Diaz like she would have liked. And there were so many good combinations for Southern United in last week's performance, and just haven't quite had that same fluidity today, but they're still leading 2-1 over Central. Whittaker sends it forward, and Diaz now 1-on-1. But great work from Lara Smith there in the 4 shirt, and confident play, and does well to get on the ball there again ahead of Southern United's Lana Durand, who was a substitute that came on earlier in the half here too. And Central, well, Falloon tried to turn her marker there in Kennard, and Simmers had to be alert to it and come out to the ball, but claimed easily. And Simmers sends it long, looking for Anderson. Surrounded by green shirts, but Whittaker comes up with the ball and looks for a through ball through to Anderson, but, well, some confident defending there from Morton and goalkeeper Bennett. And goes down long. Mackay-Wright out to Power, and can she combine with Diaz this time? Well, she comes infield instead, and again, a few green shirts around her, but gets away with it. And Durand lays it back to Mackay-Wright. Looking long for Diaz, but nicely cut out again by Central. And Falloon, it's such a high involvement in this game up front for Central. He's done a good job of linking up with her teammates too. Barry out this left-hand side now. She's been a constant threat throughout the game as well, and just looked really busy, and she finds substitute Hodgkinson, who gets it back again from Barry down in the corner. Can she get a cross in? And she does, and wow, just about fell the way of the Central striker Falloon. Southern will have to stay alert, even though they've probably had the better of the game throughout most of the second half. They've only one goal ahead, and it's a little bit aimless from Diaz with no teammates getting onto the end of that. Bennett sends it out the left, but it's going to go out for a Southern throw. Central with a just incredibly young lineup here. Most of the team are teenagers, some as young as 15 years old. Playing with some great confidence. And that's nicely done by Kate Morrie, who's one of the more senior members of the squad there. Eve Barry does well and finds a teammate there, and I think it's Hodgkinson, but nicely won by Morton. And now, Southern, Diaz just couldn't quite get on to the end of that one from Durand. She would have been clear if she could have. But yeah, Central is clearly a big development focus throughout the side, and they've had some success stories. And from last year's team, they had Aniela Jensen, who's part of the Ferns tour in Canada recently, and Charlotte Lancaster, who signed for the Wellington Phoenix and flew out to Australia recently as part of that Phoenix side. And how exciting is it to have a Wellington Phoenix team in the A-League women's competition? Can't wait for that to get underway. I think the 3rd of December that season kicks off. As Morton sends it forward, and well, was looking for Whittaker, and that was just a crucial touch from the Central fullback there, Rebecca Treffert. She's been really, really busy and really good today for Central. Kelsey Kennard happy just to send that one out, and we're going to get another substitution here for Central. And it's number 6, Kate Morrie, coming off, and number 16, Hannah Bazan, coming on. Maury's been really busy around the middle of the park, done herself proud. One of a few Massey University students and players in the Central football team. Of course, Central covering a pretty wide geographic area across the North Island. Central Football Federation, it covers Manawatu, Taranaki, Hawke's Bay, Tairāwhiti and Whanganui regions. Big journey all the way down to Dunedin here in the South Island, but great to have true inter-island, inter-regional football happening. Again, gutting for everyone that some teams, those from the Auckland and Waikato regions, can't be involved, and sympathy for them, because it's obviously gutting for players from those regions. Hopefully being able to watch these matches is some small consolation. As the ball comes through for the Central goalkeeper, Bennett. She once again goes long. Mackay Wright does well to cut it out, and Power under a lot of pressure there from Bazan. Chantel Smith and Diaz, can she get back on the end of that flick? If anybody could keep it in, it would be her, but the ball beats her into touch. Good pressure there from Durand and the Southern United substitute, and she gets back on the ball and lays it across to Whitaker. Looked up but couldn't quite get a shot away, and it was a great challenge there from Morton. But Southern press forward again. Bacon looks for Anderson. Was she onside? No, she wasn't. She had just gone a little bit too quick, and the linesman there, Danny Dukenfield, over on this near side, had his flag up. Danny lives in Queenstown. He hails from Blackpool in England, and outside of football he's an apprentice electrician, and I understand he also writes and produces his own music. In only his second year of refereeing, and was a recipient of the 2021 Football South Assistant Referee of the Year award, so his debut running the line in a National League match, so exciting for him. As Southern, Whitaker again looks up, she's been getting more and more involved, and Diaz just about gets on the end of it. Good defending there from Central. Lara Smith again had to slide across and did well. Chantel Smith having a good tussle there with Abby Rankin and gets a shot in and scores. What an effort. Well, we've seen Chantel Smith score goals like that before over the years for Southern United and for Dunedin Tech. Bullet shot, and look at that. Just brilliant effort, and Bennett had no chance as it went in off the post. I don't know how Smith has managed to get that shot away. She didn't even look like she was balanced and drifting across the pitch, and just out of nowhere hammers a shot, finds the net, puts Southern United 3-1 up now over Central Football. Chantel Smith, what a goal. She's made such an impact in the second half. I'm sure that she would have been itching to get onto the pitch, starting from the bench, as she did last week. Graham Smale didn't want to change his winning lineup from last week when Smith was also on the bench, but yeah, what a player to bring on, and especially when you want your team to fire up. But as Anderson tries to flick it past Morton but can't do so, and ends up giving away a free kick. But Chantel Smith, what a goal to put Southern 2 goals clear of Central Football. Central are going to feel pretty hard done by at the moment to be a couple of goals down, because They've performed really well today, but they're going to have to do something special to get back into this game, because they, despite all their efforts today, they haven't really managed to test Simmers too many times, and here they do manage to get a ball in to Simmers, but it's comfortable for Simmers to control there. Central would love to try and create a few more chances in the last 5 minutes or so of normal time to go, but we did have quite a long stoppage earlier in the second half, so there could be quite a bit of additional time, so there's plenty of time for Central to get back into this game. And if they did manage to score a goal in the next few minutes, it could be an interesting finish to the game. But as it stands, Southern United a couple of goals up, and they would love to start the season or the competition with 2 wins from 2 matches after their 2-1 win over Canterbury United Pride last week. Canterbury United taking on Capital straight after this match, I think. So make sure you tune into that one on Sky Sport Next as well, because that'll be a big clash, repeat of last year's National League final between Canterbury and Capital. So how much energy have Central got left? They've been so busy today that there'll be some pretty tired players out there, I think, but can the likes of Anderson here, a second half substitute for Southern United, take advantage of that? Not right now. And Heath Barry, well, she's had plenty of energy, and it's a clever ball too. Trying to play a 1-2 with her teammate, and she's tenacious. She's back on the ball, turns Morton, and just about finds Falloon up an attack as well. So Barry has been one of the standouts today for Central football. Barry, only 18 years old. From the Waterside Karori AFC club. And as I mentioned earlier, was called up to the New Zealand futsal camp earlier this year as well. Doron does well. She's been a good calming influence in the midfield for Southern United since she came on too. Smith, who scored that brilliant goal, slides in and clears, and now Diaz in the middle of the park looks up and sees Powermaker willing run down the flank. Well, how about that for a fullback in the 88th minute when your team's a couple of goals up, still putting in the yards. That's the kind of effort that Coach Graham Smale will love to see. And Diaz won't quite get on the end of that, but it will be a corner for Southern United. One neat thing with these two sides is some of the talent on the coaching bench, not just the head coaches, but in the assistant coach ranks as well. And I've got a couple with Jess Fuller for Southern United and Kate Bennett for Central Football, who are both part of the New Zealand Football's coach mentoring program, which is great to see, as Bacon puts in the corner and Kennard gets her head to the ball but only slides across, and it's a goal kick. We're going to get some late substitutions here. In fact, looks like a corner's been awarded. I thought that had been a goal kick, but must have taken a touch from a Central player. And I think we'll get the corner before those subs are made, and it's Bacon again. Swing it in. Got Kennard and McKay Wright running in from the edge of the box. Sent up, but it's right out towards that edge of the box. Diaz has a go, but isn't going to win that header. But Smith putting in the effort again, making life tough for Loon. Up near halfway. Turns, and Central, they're going to have one last push here to try and get something out of this game. Bacon with a nice ball inside for Anderson. Lays it back, but can't find Morton, and a chance here for Central to counter. And trying to find, I think it might have been Buzan who'd gone to a bit of space, but couldn't do so. Now Abby Rankin, the captain for Central, with a bit of time on the ball in the middle and spreads it across, but doesn't quite amount to anything for Central. And finally get those substitutions. And number 14, Shannon Newland, 23-year-old for Central Football, is going to come on. And number 3, Stella Warner, who's been superb at left fullback today, gets a rest for the last few minutes. Newland, another player in her debut National League season from Wairarapa FC. And Southern with a substitution here as well. We're going to see number 14, Juliet Lucas, come on. And number 9, Chelsea Whittaker, who's been really busy today. She gets a round of applause as she comes off. Juliet Lucas, only 17 years old, and I think it may be her 3rd season though with Southern already. Made a couple of appearances last year. And 5 minutes of additional time, so still time for Central Football here. But yeah, Juliet Lucas, she's certainly an attacking talent, and if she gets half a sniff late in the game here, you could see something special from her. Rosamai Carey, youngster, scored 5 goals in the Southern Premier League this season. She's trying to get on the end of this throw, but it's nicely cut out. But here is Lucas, and she has a crack and forces Bennett into a diving save, and couldn't quite hold it, but did well to get down to it. Well, just about made me look like a genius, Juliet, by scoring after I talked you up, but took a good save from Bennett. There's Tony Power now, still got so much energy. Where does it come from? Finds Diaz, who turns, lays it off to Smith. She'll have a crack, of course she will, but finds Lucas and just about has another crack, but nicely defended there by Gromwald in the 12 shirt who's come on for Central. And we get a replay here of Lucas. Look at the power which she got into that effort and almost surprised Bennett, I think, from out wide. And Bennett had to get down low, but did really well to keep it out. And I feel it would be a wee bit unfair if on Central if Southern were to win by any more than they currently are. But Bennett did well. She's made a couple of good saves. And unfortunately, Central just haven't been able to get enough efforts in on Simmers, and there's a chance for Central, but not enough power in the shot to test Simmers. Comfortable save. Hasn't really had too many touches today, Simmers, compared to last week where she was very busy. Bacon sends it up to Smith and nicely laid off there for Anderson, and Smith trying to get back on the end of it, but Morton does well to cut it out. Bennett sends it forward. Rose Morton does well with the header though, and Diaz, another player with so much energy, does well. Eve Barry lays it off. Central still trying hard to get something else out of this game, but wow, look at the energy once again from Power. Did so well to keep it in. Lucas gets it back to Power. He's in a little bit of space and looks up and gets a ball through to Diaz. Good defending though. Look at the calm defending there. 15-year-old Lara Smith just so composed and lays it off to a teammate like that. Jeez. Some great talent in this young Central side. As the match winds down into the last couple of minutes. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage. The rain's almost completely disappeared. It's been heavy at times with a bit of wind. Hopefully it hasn't affected the broadcast too much. We've loved bringing it to you. Make sure you stick around on the skysportnext platform on YouTube there, because there's another match coming up. So much football being streamed live with the New Zealand Football South Central Series for men and women. Great initiative. Awesome to be able to watch these games. As we head into probably the final minute of football here. Can we get one more effort here? And look at that from Central. Simmers forced to come out, and it was Eve Berry again, who's been such a willing player for Central Football, who just about managed to create a chance for herself. One last opportunity here for Southern, but send the ball out, and I think we're pretty close to the final whistle here. Probably the best weather we've had all day. Right as the final whistle goes, Lindsay Robinson blows for full time, and Southern United, well, coming away with a victory. They're pushed really hard by a really determined Central Football side here, but gutsy second half from Southern United, and finishing with a 3-1 win. And well, probably the pick of the goals was the final one for Southern, with Chantel Smith scoring a screamer. It's been a really good game of football here today down at Logan Park. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage, and make sure you catch all the rest of the matches from the South Central Series that are being broadcast as well. Thanks for joining us for the stream, and it's farewell from Logan Park in Dunedin.